Hello everyone, welcome to the Tristar Gym channel. Today's episode, we are looking at concepts on controlling our opponent's head. When you control your opponent's head, you can control the rest of his body. It's a very, very powerful grip, especially when we're talking no gi. Okay, so sometimes our opponents are slippery. The match has been going on for a while and I need to hold him down. One of the best ways for me to hold him down is to control the head. Now look here how I'm controlling my opponent's head. I've mounted him and I've put him effectively in a rear naked choke grip. Okay, when we're using this grip, we call it the Mata Leon grip. Look what I'm doing here. My hands are folded. Now I'm not going to be putting my right hand in front of his face. So that would be a little bit kind of mean and kind of dirty in the practice room. Okay, but I still have that Mata Leon grip. Now why am I holding his Mata Leon grip? Because I don't want his head looking at his knee. Okay, so if you can make eye contact with his knee, he'll be able to elbow escape. Okay, if you can turn his head left or right here and look at his knee, he'll have a lot more power in his elbow escape. When I control his head like this, he's not able to shrimp to half guard. Now, the one thing he can do, if he knows what he's doing, and my opponent here is very seasoned, he knows what he's doing, he's going to go for the hips and he's going to try to bump and lift. Now, my grip that I have now cannot stop the bump and lift, but once he does bump and lift, I'm going to switch to a different type of head control. As I feel my hips coming up, my opponent is shrimping to his side. Whenever my opponent is shrimping to his side, watch what I'm going to do here. Whenever you're in mount and your opponent is shrimping to his side, switch it to guillotine. Switch your grip to guillotine. So you go from Mata Leon to guillotine. Even if you don't have the Mata Leon grip and your opponent shrimps to his side from the mount, drop right away into a guillotine. It's one of my favorite moves. And you will again pass the guard. Okay, I do not want him to shrimp back to guard. That's definitely a no-no. I'm going to use that guillotine grip to get away from his guard. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm going to jump my legs over, and watch when I jump over, my hips never touch the mat. I'm in total control of his head. I have my underhook, and I'm going to pass the guard. Now, I don't want you guys take this video as a step-by-step passing type deal. What you're going to do is you're going to grab that guillotine, and you're going to use any type of pass you already know. And those guillotine grips are oftentimes going to lead to the darce. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But right now, I want you guys to focus on when to grab the head. My opponent is in side control, and watch this, he's shrimping up to his side. Now if he's on his back and I'm mounted and he shrimps to his side, I grab a guillotine. Guess what? If he is in side control on his back and he shrimps to his side, I'm gonna just do the same thing. Watch, I just grabbed another guillotine. As he gets up to his knees, I'm gonna go to darce. Now I always say the guillotine and the darce are next door neighbors. If you have a darce, you have a guillotine. If you have a guillotine, you can also go to darce. It's kind of like triangle and omoplata. If you have a triangle, you can go to omoplata. If you have an omoplata, you can go to triangle. They go back and forth between the other. So I grabbed the guillotine. I felt him getting to his knees. I'm gonna go to 3/4 Nelson. For those of you who know your darces, you know that guillotine grip will lead you into an easy darce, and that darce is not easy to deal with. Now I went from darce back to guillotine. Again, they're next door neighbors. You can go from one to the next. And now once I get that guillotine grip, I'm going to go and look to trap that hip. Let's see if I can get it here. I don't recall exactly what happened. My opponent gets back to his knees. Okay, so my opponent did a good job getting back to his guard here. I'm going to keep using that guillotine to pass. And as I'm passing here, I remember that the wall was very close to me here. So I'm going to get really close to the wall. I'm going to have to let go of this pass because my head's really close to a cement wall. So I remember now that I let it go just to move us off the wall. And I'm going to start the whole process all over again. Okay, but when you're rolling, especially no gi, okay, there are some grips you got to put in the A level category. The type of grips that really work on somebody who's very strong, athletic, competent in jiu-jitsu, but also not wearing a gi. And the head control, the front headlock, the guillotine, the darces are one of those A level category grips. Okay, so here's my opponent. He's playing guard. He's very sweaty. He's slippery. He's very experienced. What am I going to do to grab a hold of him? Okay, there he trips me up here a little bit, and there it is. Watch here. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on right here. At any time I see the top of my opponent's head, this is a very important concept for you guys. It's going to serve you well. Whenever you see the top of your opponent's head, you see that my eyes now, I'm not actually literally looking at his head, but I could if I wanted to. I have a view of the top of his head. I don't ask any questions. Once I see the top of the head, I jump on a guillotine. Let's see what happens here. Right here, I try to trap it. Now, I missed on that attempt. Here, I saw the top of the head once again. Second attempt, I'm going to lock a hold of his neck. If you know your guillotines, then there's a variety of them. I'm going to jump the guillotine and trap the hip. Notice how I trapped his hip with my leg. Once you trap the hip with your leg, whether you have a darce or a guillotine, the guy is in a lot of trouble. Now I'm on the bottom, much harder for me to grab the head here. I have to get a view of the top of his scalp here. Once I see the top of his head, I will grab him in a guillotine. Make no mistake about it. That's the kind of game I like to play, and I think that if you guys experiment with it, it will serve you well. Also, here I get a sweep. Let's see if I get another head control real soon here. Not very easy to get a head control when I'm in. There it is. What happened there? How come I got a head control? Well, let's see what happened. I just rewinded there a little bit. He's moving forward. Do I get to see, right there? I get a view of the top of his head. When you see the top of the head, what do? You grab that neck. Grab that neck. I like to say it's like controlling the head of the snake. You know, the snake is really much weaker once you grab it from the head, okay, or the throat or whatever. So now I'm in the front headlock position. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to switch it to a darce. Once I switch it to a darce, for me to finish this, okay, now a lot of black belts, they want to get to this leg and they want to put this leg in their half guard. I personally don't like to grab the leg. I find I get a lot more leverage grabbing the hip, okay, just like I did earlier in the guillotine. Watch what I'm going to do here. First hurdle, I got to crush that arm. See how my opponent's flaring his arm? I got to crush that arm with my leg. Watch here. I'm going to hand it off to my second leg. You got to hurdle over that arm. You got to crush that arm with your legs. And then after that, go for the hip. I personally find the hip a lot more powerful. I grab the hip, and guess what? The torque on the neck is just tremendous once you get to the hip. Okay, so I really prefer that over the half guard grip. All right, here my partner's playing De La Riva. He's going to be spinning around, trying to get between my, trying to get underneath me here. I'm not going to allow him. The mat is very slippery. My opponent is very seasoned as well. Not easy to hold on to. What am I going to do? Start passing the guard. If I see the top of that head, believe me, I will snap him down and grab that head. Not only is it a great grip to pass the guard, it is also phenomenal for a finish. There it is. Saw the top of the head, jumped on it. Okay, let's see it again. Rewind here. Saw the top of the head. There it is. Sprawl, get on top. What am I going to do here? Always the same song and dance. Darce, guillotine. Darce, guillotine. Let's see what I go for first. I honestly don't remember. There's the darce. There's a 3/4 Nelson. My opponent sprawls, trying to get away from the darce. What am I going to do here? I'm going to hurdle over the arm. Once you get that darce, you hurdle over the arm. And look, I trap the hip. Hurdle over the arm and trap that hip. Whatever, if the guy's on top or bottom, it doesn't matter. Trap that hip. You're going to get a nice tap. Now here I'm on the bottom again. You can also grab the head. You can grab that guillotine from the bottom. Okay, so I really am always looking for that type of grip. Very, very strong grip. Opponent's trying to pass here. I'm trying to keep him in my guard, doing some guard retention here. I think I'm going to lock him down in De La Riva, maybe. Let's see what happens here. Nope, just pushed him away. Oh, there's the De La Riva, reverse De La Riva lockdown. I'm going to try to sweep him over my head. And watch here. Look how we're scrambling now, okay? We're both getting up. Now, whenever you're in a scramble like this, you always want to leave your head even with his head, okay? If your head is up here too high, he can double leg you, he can duck under, he can slide into a leg lock. You don't want that. If your head is too low, well, guess what? He could put you in a guillotine, he could put you in a darce, anaconda, all that bad stuff, okay? So watch what's going to happen here. Let's see what happens with our heads. Okay, my head is slightly higher. But look at where his eyes are. His eyes are on the mat, so I can see the top of his head. He cannot see the top of my head. Whenever I see the top of my opponent's head, what am I going to do? Same old song and dance. I'm going to grab that guillotine. I'm going to go for that guillotine sweep there from open guard. I'm just going to rewind it a bit. Look how I'm chasing his hip. Look how I'm chasing that hip. And he blocked his hip. He protected his hip. I'm not going to get a finish without that hip. He did a great job defending. And what am I going to do here? I'm going to turn it back into a darce. Now, I think that the round ends right here. I'm not sure. I'm working back that darce here. And I think that round is going to end, if I remember correctly. Yes, it does. Okay, guys, so whenever you see the top of the head, grab that guillotine. Whether you're on top or the bottom, you can use it to pass. You can use it to finish. Whenever you want to finish the guillotine or the darce, you must trap that hip. That's my preferred finish. Experiment with trapping the hip. Experiment with trapping the leg. Let me know, guys, which one you prefer in the comments. And if you guys suggest something I haven't tried before, believe me, I will try it. And I really appreciate all your likes and shares. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you.
Bonjour, mon nom est Marc-Élie Toussaint, je suis entraîneur de sprint depuis 23 ans. Je travaille au niveau de la vitesse avec Georges Saint-Pierre depuis 4 ans Je viens de tester le Tim Tam. C'est le meilleur instrument au niveau du relâchement musculaire que j'ai testé de toute ma carrière. Je le recommande à tous.
When you train a lot, you get tight. The best way to loosen up your muscle is the Tim Tam. Hi, I'm Jean Saint-Pierre. I'm using the Tim Tam machine after my training to help me with my recovery.